How you guys doing today? Doing a little video here. I had some rust on this rear corner panel, outside this corner panel. And you can see some of the rust on the inside where this been around, and then your quarter panel wrapped around, and you had this pinch weld right here, and it was all rusted out. So I'm gonna give you a few tips on how to refabricate this. I got ahead of myself earlier. I was going to shoot this video earlier, but when I come out here in the morning and get the shop warmed up, I just kind of start getting into doing what I'm doing. But what you need to do is, got a piece of cardboard right here. And what I did, I went over on the other side and I kind of made a template, since this is gone and it's kind of hard to get a reference of, you know, your body line and etc. I went over on the other side and made this little template out of some cardboard, and make this final cut right here. Then you can transfer this to your sheet metal. Like so. So that's going to go in there. Don't like that. Cut a little bit more of this tip off up here. And then once I cut this out of some flat steel, what I'll do is I'll start up here welding, and I'll just form it, and I'll form it to that radius and that as I weld. And then that'll give me that lip that I'm going to need to make when I make this outside part of this quarter panel. It'll give me that lip when I wrap that around to put a couple spot welds there and make it about as original as possible. So that's a tip when you're fabricating stuff. I've already got this part made up. As you can see, I got a slight radius there, and I got a little lip right here. It's a body line from where the ground cover goes on there. And then at the bottom, it curves around. That's not going to be too hard. I can just pretty much put a pair of vice grips on there and mimic that body line like so. And then you can just kind of, you just got to play with it. It's kind of use your knee or find something that's got a radius to it that you don't need a bunch. I mean, it's just slight radius. You can see once you get that in there, then most of the radius will. Just a little bit more in here. Just kind of take your time and work that metal. It's metal. It bends. You can make it do whatever you want. And as you can see, just a couple seconds there, I pretty much got it. See, that's close enough to where I can start welding it, and I can form this and shape it, do a little dolly and hammering as I go, as I'm spot welding it, and I get that weld in there. But first thing I'm going to do is make this piece here and get that welded in. And then as you can see on this piece right here, I don't exactly have the tools to make this radius right here, plus bend the lip around there. So what I'm going to do is this all over again. I'm going to make one on the inside like so, and then when I get this bent where I want it to, like this, then I'll make another one and just weld, basically just welding this little seam right here, this body line. I'll have to get that little offset in there, but we'll manage. And that's really about it. So another thing is, what I did is, let me get you guys here. Earlier, I had a dent right here where I have no idea where it came from. It was obviously there when I bought the car. And I got in behind here, And you got an inner structure right there, but it was pretty much, that inner structure is pretty much right on here. So I just took an air hammer, air chisel, put a flat tip on it, and just kind of went in there and just worked that out. A little body filler, you can still see it needs some work. A little body filler right in this little dip right here. It's kind of, I couldn't really get in there and to knock that out, but that's not too bad at all. So in this side of the fender, this driver's side part of the quarter panel, probably was the worst as far as outside rust. Now over on the inside, on this side over here, and I'm going to do this in a little bit, probably if I don't get to it today. As you can see down here in this wheel, this is where the spare tire goes. You can see some rust down in here. And if you get down in here under the car, it's not on the outside. The outside of the fender is good, but it's starting to crawl around here on the bottom. So I'll probably cut this out and redo that. Well, I won't probably, I will. I'll get rid of that rust. And it's going to be kind of the same thing. You just kind of cut this out. What I do is I'll take a Sharpie and just kind of mark out where I want to cut. And then I'll cut it out, and then I'll use this piece to trace. Now, obviously, this has got a radius to it, the curve. So what I'll do after I cut it out, I'll flatten it out. And then I'll trace this piece flattened out on some new sheet metal, cut it out, and then I'll bend this radius back, and it should be a pretty close fit. But I'll have to see how far it goes up into here, which it looks like it does. I'll probably get rid of it all. I'll just come up in here and cut it all out. But I will fab this piece up, get my other pieces fabbed up, get it all welded in, and show a result. I'll probably come back with some video, maybe show you some video of welding this in. But what I'm going to do probably is just, I don't think I'll butt weld it. I might lap it a little bit, just bring it over and lap it over here a little bit so I can have a decent metal to weld onto, and then make it structurally sound. And then when I go to do this, I'll have to clean up all this paint around here so I can get a good clean weld. And then we'll go from there.